I'm here with Ryan because we just got back from the premiere of Killer Dinner at the Try Guys office.
Gosh, that show is insane.
It is so crazy. It's so much fun to watch it with all the cast to see their live reactions. And, you know, some heated things happen in there, so make sure to check it out. And we can't spoil anything.
We learned a lot about ourselves.
Yeah,
Let's
we
just say
did.
that, YB.
6, 7, 8. We got Big Theater Kid Energy.
Hello and welcome to
Try Guys Game Time. Just kidding.
Kidding. Welcome to Big Theater Kid Energy, your least pretentious theater review podcast. I am your host, Ryan Garcia, and I went and saw Kim's Convenience at the Ahmanson Theatre, which is playing through April 19th. And I went and saw it with this incredible person who was born in Seoul, South Korea, was a video editor at BuzzFeed, became the senior video editor at Try Guys, as well as on-camera talent, joining the Try Guys cast in 2024, runs her own lifestyle food traveling YouTube channel and vlog, and has the ability to lucid dream. I have with me YB BISTE!
Wow, you really did your research.
Did you like that?
I feel like I just came out on a wrestling match, you know, and like you did a whole intro for me. That is amazing. Wow, thank you for that. And hello,
Yes.
everyone.
YB, hello. It has been so fun to get to spend a little more time with you
Yeah.
and to get to know you a little better in Killer Dinner.
Yes.
Like you really, I didn't realize, one, how much conviction you have. Like once you've made a decision about
Yeah.
something, it feels like you're like, no, I have the facts and I'm rolling with it.
But I also got swindled so easily.
Didn't we all?
Yeah, we all did, really.
Yeah.
But you,
Look, we can't give that away. Don't
That's
talk about
true.
that.
Shit.
We can't say that.
Spoiler.
Cut that.
spoiler.
Cut that. You're gonna hear a big beep.
I did a big beep. But we learned a lot about each other. We learned that Ryan can get emotional.
Yeah, yep. No, that's true. Not a spoiler, but I did go and purchase the book The Let Them Theory by Mel Robbins, because I needed to self-regulate and heal.
No.
And I learned a lot about
It's okay. It
myself.
wasn't that bad.
It was pretty bad. Have you always been interested in editing and film production and all that? What sparked that interest for you?
So since I was little, I always liked storytelling. So like my parents say when I was young and couldn't even read, I would look at storybooks where like they just had pictures and make up stories as I was like reading the pictures. So I always wanted to at first be a writer because I thought I liked writing stories. So my dream was to be a writer until high school when we had to take an elective class. And I took video production because, you know, that was one of the classes available. And I fell in love with it because it was like writing, but visually. So then I loved just the making videos in general. But I noticed that like when you really create the story, it wasn't editing. So I got into editing. And then I went to USC Film School where I learned basically all parts of filmmaking. And there we had to choose two things to focus on. Like it could be producing, directing, all these things. And I did directing and editing as my main focus. And there I really fell in love with editing. It was just like, oh, I can write a story however I want,
Yeah.
and it can have the impact on people. So then I pursued it, started doing it at BuzzFeed, and then here I am at Try Guys.
So did you also, because like for instance, my wife is an editor as well, or that's how like she really got her stuff started. Now she's mainly a writer because she realized that was the thing that turned her on the most.
Yeah.
But she also loves like using Photoshop. Like she's very well versed at being at the computer and behind like the software.
Yeah.
And she's a pretty good drawer too. Do you also draw?
I used to
and-
draw comics, yeah.
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 What would your comics be about?
So many different things. Like,
Yeah?
there's... Like I could be watching a TV show and I would write like a fan fiction based on it, but like in a comic form. I used to do that a lot when I was little.
So you would like redraw the characters, but then like I'm gonna do my
In
own
my
story.
own story, yeah, yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
that's so cool.
Yeah.
And you don't have any experience with theater.
No, not at all. I mean, the closest I get is that because when we were doing all these like filmmaking, we had to also be each other's actors. So we would act on camera, but that's it.
Yeah, that's not theater.
I know it's not, but that's the closest I get to it.
Sure. And the one thing that you said to me when we were at the show, and I don't know if this was real or not, because after doing Killer Dinner, I don't know if anyone tells the truth ever anymore. But that you played a rock in a middle school play?
Yes, actually, that is the closest I get to a theater.
I was going to say, because
And
you were on stage playing.
I wasn't.
So tell me about this rock.
Yeah.
What was the rock's motivation in
I
that play?
have no memory other than the fact that I was playing a rock where there was a stream of water coming. At least I didn't play the stream.
Yeah.
You know? But it was a middle school play, and I was a rock, and I just had to stand there, which was easy.
YB, I'm not going to lie. The stream probably has more to do and a little more responsibility on stage than the rock.
You think so?
Do you think maybe they knew, like, oh, you know what? YB's not meant for the stage.
Maybe they were like, she'll be good as a rock.
She doesn't really take blocking well.
Yeah.
Why don't we keep her just
stay
to this?
one.
You also live you live in, can I say where you live?
Rancho Palos Verdes.
I can say that?
Yeah.
Okay. You live over Rancho Palos Verdes, which is like a faraway place to live when you're
It
in
is.
Los Angeles.
Yeah.
So what made you choose going out there? Do you like being at the beach the most?
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
is it the coastal life for YB?
I love the water. I just have to have an ocean view wherever I go. So I actually grew up in Palos Verdes. I went to high school there. And then I moved to LA when I was going to school in USC. And after that, I lived in Hollywood for a bit when I was going to BuzzFeed. And then when I was working for Try Guys, I was still living in the Hollywood, North Hollywood area, and COVID hit. And we started working from home. And then once we started working from home, I was like, I don't have to be out here.
Yeah, I have
can-
a computer.
Yeah, I can be wherever I want. So then I went back to PV where it's like beautiful and no traffic. And I only come into the office now when I'm in a shoot, which is like not that many times.
And when you look at a map of like Rancho Palos Verdes, it's like separated from all the highways.
Oh, yeah, it's awesome.
It's like really like it's like Long Beach is over here
Yeah.
and Venice is over there, and then it's just like in the middle in this pocket is just like it feels like a little haven
yeah.
on the beach.
It is so like secluded and beautiful, but you can still do everything you want. And if I have to see my friends, I just come into the LA and it's not that bad.
But you have to make like a whole day out of it.
That is true. Yeah.
Do you like pack a bag?
No, but it's a long day. It's a full day for sure.
Yeah. Do you listen to what do you do in the car? Do you listen to podcasts?
I
books,
do
or-
like to listen to some crime podcasts.
You're a crime podcast girly,
Yeah, but
eh?
in Korean.
You listen to it in Korean?
Yeah. I love listening to Korean crimes.
Wow.
I don't know why. It's so interesting to me. Maybe because it helps me also like keep up with my Korean to hear all these like hard words in Korean. But I think like crimes in America are interesting too.
Yeah.
But in Korea, maybe because that's where I'm from.
Sure.
It is so interesting to me.
And do you get a chance to speak Korean very often?
I speak it with my parents, so pretty often, yeah.
That's great. And it's interesting. We can jump a little bit, but since we went and saw Kim's Convenience, it is specifically a Korean Canadian
Yes.
show,
Yeah.
not a Korean American show. But there are moments when the characters speak Korean
They
in it.
did, yeah.
And I did learn. I will just say this really quick because you said something to me about it that I'm happy to talk about.
Yeah.
Is that both Ins Choi and Esther Chung, who played the parents in the show, were both Korean born but Canada raised.
I knew it.
Yeah.
I knew it. I
don't
told
know
Ryan.
how much time they actually spent in Korea.
Yeah.
I didn't get that specific, but you said you were listening to it. And you're like, I don't know. What did you say to me?
I said like I know they're Korean, but I don't think they're native. Like if they were born in Korea.
Right, they're learning their Korean at home
Yeah.
from their parents.
Yeah, like
not,
their Korean wasn't how do I say it? And like it
like
wasn't
fully immersed.
It wasn't perfectly pronounced Korean. It was like someone who doesn't know Korean fully trying to speak Korean, which is still fine, you know.
Totally.
They could speak it. I understood everything, but it wasn't a native Korean speaking.
Don't I get it? I am my last name is Garcia, and my father was born in Cuba. My mother is Miami. Her mother was born in Cuba. And we moved away from Miami, which is kind of like Little Havana. There's a lot, like my whole Cuban family, everyone's speaking Spanish, by the way, at 1,000 words a minute.
Oh, I bet.
But then my family, like the nuclear family, my mom, dad, and then my soon-to-be sister, all moved out to San Diego, and nobody spoke Spanish.
Right.
So if I speak Spanish like they spoke Korean.
Really?
So when I
thought
get
your
audi-
Spanish sounded good. But
Yeah,
I don't
but
know
you don't
Spanish.
know.
Yeah, I don't
thought
know.
they're Koreans and I'm
exactly.
perfect.
Yeah. That's true. That's true.
So like I totally get that and relate to it, and then it helps me realize also that like, so what?
So what? No, there's
This
no
person
problem.
wrote a whole show
Oh, yeah.
that has been going for over a decade.
Yes.
And it's super one of the most successful shows. Some theaters it was their most successful show ever that had this
Really?
running at it, and they're not speaking perfect Korean.
Oh, it doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
I still understood every one of it.
Yeah, it's like I need to like take that weight off my shoulders of needing to be. That perfectionism follows me everywhere. By the way,
Oh, that doesn't matter unless you're playing a character who's supposed to know it fully. You know,
that's what they
it's
were doing, isn't it? That's what I'm saying.
Uh-oh.
This is what I'm saying.
True.
And there's gonna be people out there like you that are gonna be like, I see it.
Huh.
But then most of the audience, I doubt that out of the 2,000 people in that audience
Yeah.
at the Ahmanson, what percentage actually knew?
Well, I did see a lot of Koreans there.
There were a lot of Koreans, but what percentage?
Maybe, I guess, less than 30. Huh?
Yeah, right?
Yeah,
So
yeah.
it's like, God, I put all this weight on my shoulder. Really, I could just
Yeah.
like release some of that.
I mean, good actor is more important than.
I think so too.
Yeah.
And good writer. Like
Yes,
also, he
good
wrote it,
writer.
so he gets to.
Yes, that's true.
YB, if you were to be in that show, and like regardless of age or regardless of gender, which role would you want to play?
Ooh, I would want to play either the daughter or the son, right?
Yeah.
Because like I can still relate to being the daughter or a child of an immigrant or right? Because my parents are the immigrants. I am too.
You're an immigrant.
I'm an immigrant, but I'm also a child of an immigrant.
You're also the child of an immigrant, but you are also an
Also
immigrant.
immigrant.
These are both true things.
Yeah, I'm trying to think like wait, it's,
Because
yeah.
your parents are immigrants.
Right, yeah.
So
they
you
are.
would be a child of theirs.
Yeah, but I also wasn't born here, which means I'm also an immigrant.
Right.
Like we're all first generation immigrants, right?
Yeah.
So I do relate more to the daughter, right? Because I also came at a young age to America. But I was saying to you yesterday that I now also understand because now I am in my 30s and I can understand my parents a little bit more. I can understand what the parents were feeling.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's weird to see kind of both sides and understand both sides.
Yeah.
So I was imagining like, oh my God, my parents also had to give up so many things and move to America for us, which would have been so hard. And then also from the perspective of the kids who grew up here and they had to, and the parents kind of expect them to be a certain way. And that expectation is so hard, so much pressure. I know that feeling too. So it was, yeah, I could see both sides.
Yeah, it's really interesting you bring that up, and it's a perfect segue into what we're talking about, which is Kim's Convenience, which is, by the way, such an incredible play.
Yeah.
It's so tight, it's so well written, and so well crafted, and so well performed by Ince Choi,
Amazing.
who played the lead character of Appa, the father
The
of
dad.
the patriarch of the family, and was also the writer and creator of this show.
That's so crazy to me.
It's so crazy. I'm gonna give you a little history on it.
Yeah.
So Ince Choi first developed the idea for Kim's Convenience while working with Fujian, which is a Toronto-based Asian Canadian theater company.
Okay.
And they were just like, come up with a play.
Yeah.
Come up with a story. And he's like, well, I'd love to tell a Korean story. And he was raised in Canada in a big Korean community. His uncle owned a place called Kim's Grocer.
Ah.
And he worked behind the register at a bunch of different convenience stores.
Okay.
So he was like, well, this is the most me story.
Yeah.
And the most story that, and he talked about something that one of his mentors said, which was, writing doesn't have to be this tortured artist thing, which was like kind of the idea you get.
Yeah.
When you want to be an actor, when you want to get into this industry, when you want to get going, you think, I got to be tortured. I got to have trauma. I got to have pain to pull from. He's like, this writer told him, no, it's a way to love your community.
Yes.
It's a way to share and experience your community together.
Yeah.
And actually use your art to bring people together. So that was his point here. And I'm going to jump ahead just to make a point about what you were saying. He also had one dramaturg who came to him because it took him 6 years to write this play. He kept tinkering and tinkering and tinkering.
Wow.
And this one person said to him, I have notes. It was this dramaturg who was apparently like a very rough dramaturg. A dramaturg, by the way, in a theater company is the person who does like the research and makes sure that everything makes sense, that all the given circumstances of the story actually connect. And if it's a historical play, that they actually also connect to what actually happened in history.
Okay.
But she said, when you wrote this story, you didn't have children. But now you have children. So just think about, that's my only note. Think about it like that. And he said he went back to it
Yeah.
and considered like, wow, I'm not just now relating to Jung,
Wow. Yeah.
the son, I'm relating to the father.
Yeah.
And what does that mean? And he doesn't know like what the legitimate, but the feeling changed.
Yeah. 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 I bet.
Because because like you were just saying, the
Yeah.
relatability to these
Yeah.
other characters, which I think is so cool.
That is actually really cool that he actually got to see both perspectives.
Right. And that was before it ever actually got like fully produced. That was still he was in writing phase.
Yeah.
So it premiered at Toronto Fringe Festival 2011. It was the Patrons Pick Award and Best Canadian Play. Became a touring hit from 2013 to 2016, playing
Wow.
off-Broadway. It never went to Broadway. It played off-Broadway in 2017, which means it was off-Broadway after it was already a Netflix and CBC
That's
show.
insane.
Yeah.
Wow.
Which ran for 5 seasons
Okay.
and was the starting place, like the first major role for Simu Liu.
And that's how he got big.
I know.
Crazy.
Isn't that wild?
Yeah.
It's also wild to go from like, oh, I'm on a sitcom
Yeah.
to now I'm a Marvel
Yeah.
superhero.
That is a big move.
Yeah. He kind of thought of it in this way, like he couldn't break into acting and he didn't want to feel reliant on having, like I feel this a lot of times. My job is to say yes to things. You know, like and you're probably the same with editing in the sense that like you must collaborate.
Right. Yes.
You can't actually like edit unless someone hires you
That's
and brings
true.
you a project.
Yeah.
You're in a wonderful place because you work for a company and so
Right.
you've always have work coming in.
But if I was a freelancer, I would need to.
You can be picky to an extent, but
Yeah.
also you got to put food on the table.
That's true.
And he was in that place. He had a family, he had 2 kids, and he had
Yeah.
to like, I can either keep saying yes to all of these, to whatever acting job comes my way, which, by the way, and especially in 2011, few and far between for anyone not white.
Oh, that would have been hard. for
Yeah,
acting.
especially like roles for, like, you know, there's the token black person, there's the token Asian person. Like,
Yeah.
it's just hard to find that. And so he built something, especially for like the next generation.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah.
And you know what's also great? I was thinking about this yesterday that a lot of Asian media that is bigger now, a lot of them focus on how they're rich, like Crazy Rich Asians and the Bling Empire, which I honestly enjoyed watching. Okay. I'm guilty of that. But there's so much stigma, so much stereotype of like, oh, yeah, like Asians are all rich and like
Yeah.
they're all doing so well. So it's so good to see a side where it shows the truth about like so many other people who are immigrants who are struggling but also like working really hard. Because if everyone thinks Asians are rich, you know, that's just wrong. You know, just like when people think, oh, Asians are all smart. That's also not true. Like
Right.
I'm bad at math, you know? So I don't live the stereotype.
Yeah, that specific racial stereotype, which is a name for it. Let me just look up what it is.
The model minority.
Yes, yeah, right. That they
stereotype.
are described as like the model minority.
Yeah.
Which can also be detrimental.
Yes.
Because any stereotype you put on someone
Yeah.
means like you're judging the book by its cover.
Exactly. It's
and
a
not,
label.
Not giving a chance to be a human.
Yeah. Kim's Convenience really shows that there are people struggling. They're immigrants. You know, they're just trying to make ends meet. And that's most of the people here, really.
Mhm. And I also found it to be like a blueprint for the struggles that immigrant mindset brings, which is I worked my ass off
Yeah.
so that you could get opportunities.
Oh, yes.
And now it's your turn to do the things the way that I think you should.
That is such a hard concept.
And then the beauty of seeing his character,
Yeah.
In's Choi's character,
Yeah.
Appa, actually come to terms with the fact that like it's not his responsibility.
Yes. Yeah.
That's so hard.
It is hard on both sides. Like I understand the parents working so hard, like leaving their country and trying to learn a new language in the late years, trying to make the best for their kids. And if the kids are just like out there doing whatever they want, I could see how hard it is for the parents. On the other hand, I can see as kids, if your parents have these kind of expectations, you're like, well, but I'm myself.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to still learn who I am. So it is such a hard, like, there's no who's right or wrong.
No. But it's like it's such a universal story. Like
Yeah.
to have like no connection to a Korean household or
Right.
working in a convenience store to feel to be so relatable.
Yeah.
And to feel like also it's wild. And there's so many things I want to talk about with you because you don't have any experience. This is your first time ever seeing a play.
Yeah.
I don't know how you avoided it so long. I don't know how you were able to avoid seeing plays. I guess I get it because like you got to make a concerted effort to get out there and
Yeah,
see
I mean,
one.
I don't even see movies that often.
Yeah, man, that's sad, huh?
I know. I should. I want to.
Maybe you're gonna be the change I want to. I feel right now like your immigrant father, who's like,
You're
"Why me?
pressuring me.
You're in the industry. You gotta support the other people in the
I
industry.
guess.
You're a freaking editor. Get out there and support the editors who put things on the screens."
That's very true.
What is that experience for you? So, like, I'm having such a specific experience watching it because I'm seeing such a beautifully well-crafted piece of theater, which, by the way, is such a small, intimate story
Yeah.
being told in a 2,000-plus seat house.
Yeah, that was huge.
Like, we got very spoiled because we
Yes.
were in the second row.
You could see everything.
Could see the whites of their eyes.
Oh yeah.
You
I could
could
see the spit.
Oh, you could feel the spit. Sometimes we're in the splash zone,
It was a
YB.
splash zone.
But you could also see when In's Choi was like was tearing up,
Oh,
and you
yeah.
could see the real raw emotion in his
Oh
face.
yeah, they were real crying.
So we were getting to see a very specific show versus people way up in the second balcony.
Yeah, I don't know how they saw.
Well, when we were in there though, the laughter was cacophonous.
Yes, yeah.
It was the whole space was laughing and breathing together, which by the way is my favorite thing about theater.
Oh yeah.
That we're
Their
all
live reaction.
and then we're all just like changed for this moment in this dark room together.
That is great because in movies, like you don't always get that.
No, because you have this separation.
Yeah.
There's this screen.
Yeah.
That's like, okay, I can just kind of veg out and be there with the screen. But when there's a human being right there
That is
who's
nice.
experiencing something, like it changes me.
You know what I thought though? It would have been nice for the people in the back if there was a camera zooming into that.
No, no,
So
YB.
you can see their face.
We're not putting up screens for the higher balcony seats. It sounds nice. No, we would look if someone's gonna get the idea and be like, everyone will have their cell phone to log into an app. And we'll give them the close-ups of what's happening on stage. And then you know what's going to happen then? Then everyone's got to wear little body cams.
Yeah. It turns into a movie.
Yeah, really, you're trying to make Kim's Convenience the movie, which, not a bad idea, but they already made a TV show. So
Yeah.
you're like, why even go to the movie? Why even go to the play? Just have them watch just
You
turn on
watch it
Netflix.
No,
YB.
I'm kidding. It
No,
was
I know.
great to see it live action because you could see the performers like really being there, like an actual live show. You know?
There's something you were saying, like, as an editor, you're most aware of how much you can manipulate someone's
Oh, yeah.
performance.
It
Like,
is-
even in what we were just watching Killer Dinner,
Yeah.
I'm watching it and I'm like,
That's not what happened.
well, not even that as much as it's like, wow, they made me look really funny right there. I don't know that I'm actually that funny, but the editing made me like hit that punchline perfectly.
Yeah.
You know, like you're really manipulating it, which is why I think for theater, you got to have 3-4 weeks of rehearsal
Oh, yeah.
because there's no space to edit.
And how do you memorize all those words, without mistake? That's crazy to me.
I know, that's the novice thing.
Wow.
That's everyone's first question. Is like, how'd you memorize all those
Yeah.
words?
For real, though.
You just do. You just do.
Yeah.
I think the thing is, I've said this before on here, but it's just a muscle.
Yeah.
You know, you do it enough times that it actually becomes very easy.
Yeah.
And it's just the way that you memorize is not by memorizing words in order. I'm
bet, yeah.
actually memorizing feelings.
That's what I thought. Yeah.
I'm memorizing the way that when I read those words, how they impact me.
Right.
That if the writing is good, then if I have that feeling, the words will come out.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, and then also repetition.
Yeah.
You just
Practice
do
a
it
lot.
over and over and over. I
Wow.
mean, for instance, the people who were in this show, so Kelly Seo, who played Janet,
Uh-huh.
she's also Korean born, a lot of Korean born, by the way. Korean born and raised in Canada
Uh-huh.
and has done multiple productions of Kim's Convenience.
Really?
So she's done that so many times, which, by the way, I get it because I'm not done talking about ins. Don't think I'm done talking about ins. But Kelly, like, she had some bits, like when she went behind the counter
Uh-huh.
or like when she went and slammed her arms onto the newspapers and kicked
Yeah.
her leg, that I'm like, you've been doing this for a long time. Because those are really, really well-crafted bits
Okay.
that aren't obvious.
Okay.
It's not like the obvious choice. That's like, right? Sometimes we'll go like, okay, A to B. That
Yeah,
makes
yeah,
sense.
yeah.
She's going like A to M.
So it's like not in the script, but she's making up kind of.
She's learning it in rehearsal.
Yeah,
She's
yeah.
not making it up. She's done that
Yeah.
100 times.
Okay. That makes sense.
And she's crafted it and she's found, because the other thing about the collaboration that you don't get as an editor,
Yeah.
that we got to have, talk about this. You said to me before we even started this
Yeah.
that you wish we could watch all the episodes of Killer Dinner together.
Yeah.
But you won't go to a movie theater. But you can see the value.
No, it's great to
of
watch
being together to watch something, because
I
you
know.
get to, like, I wouldn't, if I'm watching a movie that's funny by myself, how much am I actually laughing out
that
loud?
is true.
I'm just thinking, oh, it's funny.
You know what? I think I'm antisocial because I'm lazy.
Yeah.
But then I am social when I'm with people.
I think you just live too far away.
I think so too.
The other interesting thing about In's Choi, which I'd be interested to hear your thoughts on this. So when In's was so In's actual name is Insup, but I guess somebody also messed it up in like the Canadian whatever when they moved in
Yeah.
from Korea and
Yeah.
added an R in there, which doesn't actually exist
Okay.
in like the Korean alphabet.
Yeah.
So it became Inserp,
Okay.
and he hated that name so much.
Yeah, that's bad.
Yeah, and he hated it so much growing up that he changed his name to Danny.
Danny, that's a big jump from
Yeah.
Ins.
In like middle school and high school because he wanted to fit in. He wanted to
Oh,
be
yeah,
able
that
to
makes
like
sense.
not be made fun of, to
Yes,
actually
yeah.
assimilate in some way in
I
Canada.
can relate.
Yeah, tell me more
Yeah.
about that.
Well, so my Korean name is Yubin,
Uh-huh.
which is a very common Korean name. It's nothing weird, but it's, you can see how in English it sounds like, oh, you've been blah, blah, blah.
It's a
So
setup.
it's a
It's just
setup.
a classic. Insert any joke after you've been.
So
You've been missing out on some great theater.
yeah, exactly. Well, so when I came to America when I was 12, I spoke English, but I wasn't like that good. But I tried my best to, fit in and like make American friends, which I actually didn't have a problem with. I made a lot of friends. But there was a running joke. They always call me, you've been bad, which, like, okay, it was funny.
Yeah.
I played along. But at the same time, I was like, oh, man, like, I have a nickname now that's
Yeah.
based on my name, even though that's such a common name in Korea. So when I moved to California for high school, I was like, okay, I don't want to go by Yubin. I don't want this, like, so it was a funny joke at the time, but I don't want it to keep going.
Mm-hmm.
But I could not find an American name that fit me. I just didn't like any of it. I didn't think it was like me. So I ended up just going with YB, my initials, and then it stuck with me until now. And still, like, every time I go to somewhere, like, if I go get coffee or something, if I need to put my name down, I don't say YB because everyone's gonna be like, huh? A W something? So I say Ivy now because it's the closest
You say
American name.
Ivy?
Yeah. That's the
Like
closest.
IVY.
Yeah, IVY. That's the closest to YB.
Yeah.
That's my fake name. Maybe I shouldn't have
Wow.
said that.
You don't want people to know your fake name?
Well, like, if I meet a guy and I don't like him, well, now I have a husband. But
Yeah,
like,
I think you're kind of safe from that.
Yeah, yeah,
Herbert's got your back.
yeah, but I was saying like before, like when I used to meet guys and I didn't like them, I didn't want to give them my real name. I would say Ivy, my little secret.
Can I tell you something, Ivy? I think those guys have figured out you don't like them. This is not going to be the moment they realize.
Maybe.
I'm still waiting for that phone call from Ivy.
Where's Ivy? I can't find her on Facebook.
Did you have that feeling of like, because it was in high school, so there were some people like the teachers call out the names.
Yeah.
Did you have that feeling of like nervousness when they would?
Little, yeah, because they would always. Also, I have a space in between Yubin, so it's like YU space BHIN. I don't know why my parents made it that way, but they did. So
That's not the traditional way to spell Yubin.
it is. So in
Okay.
Korean, the Korean name always has like two things. It would be
Okay.
like Yubin, like two pronunciations. So usually we do have a space next to it, but you could also put it together when it's Yubin. It could be YUBIN. But my parents thought it would be cool to make it YU space BHIN, which okay, it is kind of cool, but not what I wanted because now Bin is like looks like a middle name.
Right.
So every time people will say, "Hey, you," you.
That's actually not bad.
Even when I go to a doctor, they're like, "You?" I'm like, "Yeah, me,
No, me.
me,
Thank
not
you. Oh my God, that's a real like who's on first
Yeah,
joke.
so I still have that. I get called you when I go to doctors or anywhere.
Right. Wow. Well, the thing about Ins is that when Ins got to college, she kind of realized like I want to get my name back.
Yeah,
And so went back to his name, and that's when everyone in college just shortened it to Ins.
Ins. It's not
and
bad.
so it became Ins Choi.
Yeah.
Which I think is an awesome name.
That's a cool name.
And the coolest thing I think that we
Yeah.
learned while we were there at the theater was that when Ins wrote this show, he played Jung. He played the
yes.
son.
Yeah, right. He was a son.
And then now to talk about the perspectives that shift, like you saying, like, oh, I can
Yeah.
relate to both characters. He's now had the show for so long that he's aged into
Insane.
the role of the father.
Yeah.
Which, can I just say, first of all, he crafted such an incredible show.
Yeah.
But he crafted an incredible show for that father character, for
Yes.
Appa. And to see him play it is like, I couldn't imagine anyone else playing that role.
Agreed. He fit so well. He even fit the stereotypical like Korean ajashi. It's like an uncle look.
Totally.
Yeah.
And he was so funny.
Yeah, it was
N-
hilarious.
It had everything. It had slapstick,
Yeah.
physical comedy. It had such fast.
But also that anger, like when he was angry and like throwing stuff, like I got uncomfortable because
Yes.
many dads have this, right? Like they when
Mhm.
they get angry for kids, it's really scary. And I could see it like, oh yeah, oh my God, if my dad got mad like that, I would be so scared. So it was so real.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, and it was like they did such a great job of creating that undertone of like, don't get dad mad.
Yeah.
Because like where's Jung?
Yeah.
Where's the son? We haven't seen him, and we're
Yeah.
slowly learning about his story,
Yeah.
and we're realizing that it was because of a big fight that happened.
Yeah.
And so we know that anger exists,
Yeah.
and then we get to get a taste of it.
Yeah.
And it is scary.
It was scary. I mean, they said he got hospitalized, which is a bit intense. Like that's not just
very
a
bad.
scolding.
Yeah, no wonder. But the character of Jung in this was played by Ryan Jin, who was born in LA and raised in Vancouver. And he's also been in this show multiple times as that role.
Okay.
And then Esther Chung Uma was Korean born and Ontario raised as well. And she was wonderful.
I loved her.
She was so she was so sweet.
She was so sweet, and like it also showed a lot of parts of, I guess, like in a lot of cultures, the misogynistic culture where the men are kind of like yelling and like, you know, a little borderline abusive, really.
Yeah.
And the woman just have to be quiet and like be there for their children. It kind of showed that side as well, you know? While
Totally.
we try to understand the dad's side that he's also trying, you see that he puts a lot on his wife.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then she finds in that way in these like very patriarchal communities, the women still have strong opinions.
Yeah.
They have to keep them quiet, but they still come out. And you
Yes.
can really see it in the scene that she had with her son at the
Yeah.
church,
Yeah.
where she was like having these like,
Yeah.
I don't like that. No. And so like she still finds a way to express it. I also loved how like we learned, like not only is this show really fun and funny and honest, but it also taught us a lot about Koreans.
Yeah.
And about Korean pride.
Yeah.
And about like all these, she
Oh
like
my God.
told the story of the churches that
Yes.
came out. Because there was a whole thing about like why these Koreans moved. It was like during the Korean War.
Yeah.
And the aftermath of that. And then there had already been missionaries that
Yes.
had gone to Korea, these Catholic missionaries, and not Catholic, but Christian missionaries.
Yeah.
And so when they came to Canada, like that was the place to land.
Their
That was the
group.
thing that created community.
Yeah, that makes sense. You know, when you're in a foreign country, you try to fit in, but you also want to make friends with people who are more like you.
Yeah.
And I get that totally.
No, but this is the crazy thing about everyone being like the hatred toward immigration and immigrants.
Yeah.
It's like you think that like they're here to steal things. They're literally like okay, who here? Like I could not imagine moving to another country right now. Like just picking up and going. Like I like things now.
Yeah.
Things would have to be in a really bad
Oh,
place,
yeah.
in a bad situation for me to
Yeah.
feel like instead of trying to fix this, I need to escape.
And learn a new language.
Learn a new language, try to survive there, and know that my life is going to be spent not for myself, but for the next generation.
Yes.
That's the sacrifice that I would have to make.
That is the
How
hardest.
can you not? That's the most like integrity-filled human being on this planet.
Yeah.
Is the immigrant.
Yeah.
They're doing it because they know it's not going to. It's that quote from Hamilton. Legacy. What is a legacy? It's planting seeds in a garden you never get to see. That's what an immigrant's life is.
It is. Life of an immigrant parent.
Right?
Yeah.
Yes, exactly. The immigrant parent.
Wow.
And then there's more still to talk about all the ins and outs of these characters and the way that they interact with each other and the comedy beats that they're building so expertly and so fast. You don't have time to think, and there's already another joke.
Oh, yeah.
Which is why I think this is enjoyable from back in because I did spoil you.
Yeah, you did.
For your first time ever seeing theater, to see it from the second row in a 2,000-seat house is
Yeah.
not realistic.
Now I always have to get front seats. Not going unless it's the front seat.
I think that's a good choice. You should get front row no matter where you go. I think the best seat, though, is fifth row center.
Fifth row center. Okay.
Yeah, because then you get a better stage picture.
You get everything. Yeah.
You can, especially if it's like a musical and there's a lot of like dance and choreography.
That
You want to
makes
see the
sense.
full choreography, not just like one dancer's tap
That's
shoes.
true. That's true.
But to speak really quickly about Brandon McKnight, who played all the other characters in the neighborhood.
Oh my God. Yeah.
You were like, is that the same guy? I think that might be the same guy.
Yeah.
In theater, that's what's called a trunk character
Okay.
because they're pulling all the characters they have out of the trunk.
Yeah. That makes
know?
sense.
And he was wonderful.
Oh, yeah. I mean, he played all three characters.
3?
Yeah, it was 3. Pretty sure it was 3.
I think you're wrong. I think
No,
it might be
that was
4.
Oh, it was 4. Okay.
You ready? So there was Rich, who was the first guy who came in, who he accused of having the Honda.
Yes.
Who was just there, just like, oh, you know what? I'm gonna try ginseng. Ginseng? Is
oh,
it ginseng?
yeah. Okay, now, yeah.
And then there was Mr. Lee, who went to purchase it.
Yes.
And then there was Mike,
The guy who stole
who, yes, right, who
with the
stole
jean jacket.
with a jean jacket. And then there was Alex,
The cop.
who was the cop.
Yes. Okay.
Four
There's 4
roles.
Wow.
And quick changes, too.
Yeah, really?
That's usually the role that I play in something,
Okay.
is the trunk character. Because I'm like, yeah, I'm a bit of a clown.
Yeah, you'll be a different character each time.
And I do like it. It's sometimes nicer to just like have one role
I
to
bet.
play, but it is very fun to have a lot of costume changes and different things.
Oh, yeah.
And every time after the show ends, people come out and go like, "Wow, you played so many different characters."
Yeah.
Like, and it's like if you're a tall person, someone's like, "Wow, you're so tall." Like, it's just always the first thing
Yeah,
someone
yeah.
says. He was exceptional.
Oh, he was great.
Yeah.
I thought it was different people at first. And then I was like, at the end, when they did a curtain call and everyone came out, there was only one person. I
You're
was
like waiting, like, "Hey, did someone forget there's 4 other guys back there? Where's the 4 other guys?"
and it was just him.
Yeah.
Crazy.
It was really, really exceptional. I think that'd be the role that I'd play.
Yeah.
If I had not any opportunity to play a role in this, which there's not a role for me in this, but there's no role. I'm never gonna be in Kim's Convenience.
I guess not.
But that would be the role that I would want to play.
You could be one of the guests, one of the customers.
Yeah, but I couldn't.
Yeah.
But I'd want to.
Yeah.
But I couldn't.
Yeah.
It wouldn't make any sense. Yeah, the story that deals with immigration, it deals with generational trauma.
Yeah.
It deals with and I think what's beautiful in this is the idea of masculinity and forgiveness.
Yeah.
That like what's so beautiful is the arc that Appa goes on.
Yeah.
And I think
Yeah.
it's a little bit of like maybe this is true to Ince and his family because he
Uh-huh.
really did have like a strong love for his father, so much so that he wanted his children to call him Appa.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because he just had like such a strong connection with that.
Yeah.
But it's hard to believe that a father can shift that strong.
Well, I do think he's a very complex character. Like he definitely has a change, for the better. But he's also flawed. He beat his son to the point he went to the hospital. Like
Yeah.
that's not okay.
Right.
And he doesn't. I don't. Well, like it's not that he mistreats his wife, but you can see like that scene where he was really mad after fighting with his daughter, and he kind of took it out on his wife, and the wife just had to pick something off the floor
Mm-hmm.
for after, and then didn't really get an explanation. And you can see how she's kind of used to that. So seeing it from that perspective, I could see that he's still a very flawed character.
Yeah.
However, it doesn't mean that he can't learn,
Yeah.
So towards the end, he hopefully realizes his mistakes and learns to connect with his children again. And hopefully is just nicer to his wife, who's
Yeah.
also going through the same thing, but cannot express herself the way that he can.
I bet there's a 2-hour version of this show.
Oh, yeah.
With an intermission.
Yeah.
Where we get to, because like the scene with the son is so beautiful.
Yeah.
Where that doesn't go as well
Yeah. Yeah.
at first.
Yeah.
And it goes to a darker place, and then he has to fix things with the whole family.
Yeah. Like the son can't forgive him that easily.
Yeah. Everyone forgave each other, but I think that that's what this show wants to be.
Yeah.
And what am I to say? This show has had wild success. And the plan right now, by the way, is that they do this tour.
Yeah.
Because Ince has been away from acting for a while. He's
Yeah.
just been writing. And then when this tour came up, he's like, well, yeah, I'd like to play the role again,
Yeah,
do
yeah.
this, and hopefully get it to Broadway.
Yeah.
And actually get a chance to have a Broadway run of this
Oh,
show, which I
that'd be
think it
awesome.
would be fantastic.
Yeah.
And so that's why they're doing this limited tour in this moment. And so I really hope they get that opportunity. And one thing that's also talked about in this show a little bit, we don't really get deep into it, is the gentrification that's happening.
Yeah.
And I was actually talking about it with somebody tonight at Killer Dinner. I was talking about it with Garrick.
Huh.
Just about how like people will hold on to things
Yeah.
sometimes too long, kind of like the movie Up.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
yeah,
where it's
yeah,
like,
yeah.
I'm gonna hold on to this house until someone sells, until someone like actually like pays me what I'm owed.
Yeah.
But then sometimes you wait too long.
Yeah.
Did you see that story? I think it was in China, who this man like wouldn't sell his house even though they were gonna build a highway through it, and so
Oh, I think
they
I saw
built
it, yes.
the highway around his house,
Yes.
and he could only access it through a tunnel. And he talked about how
Horrible.
miserable he was.
I wanted to ask if you were the daughter or the son of the dad, like who owned that convenience store, what would you recommend? Like when he was given this offer to sell the store?
Me personally,
Yeah.
I'd have to be in the circumstances there. I think it's very different, whether like based on who I am.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
it's interesting that this. I don't want to give too many spoilers away. So,
Oh, true.
but I will say that I think that I would. It's so hard for me to tell somebody how to make a decision.
Yeah. Yeah. That's
I have enough trouble trying to make my own decisions.
yeah.
I think that I would say you built this.
Yeah. So keep it.
And no, not even that.
Oh.
You built this, so it's yours.
Okay.
So it's your choice.
Yeah. I mean, yeah.
To do what you want with it.
Yeah.
And I would say, like, does it? I would ask some questions.
Yeah.
Does it bring you joy?
Yeah.
To work here every day?
Yeah.
Does it? Do you feel like you're missing anything?
Yeah.
You know, and through that sequence of questions, hopefully get to an answer that they're able to formulate.
That is actually a very good solution. So they still make the decision, but you can kind of make them question themselves. Like,
yeah,
do
like
I
maybe ask some
really?
questions. They have these. Sometimes you don't. Sometimes when you're living it,
Yeah.
you're so close to it, you have no chance to consider.
Exactly. Yeah. You're
But-
just used to it.
Yes.
But I do think in the end, the better solution would have been to sell it so he can maybe find a hobby that he likes, you know?
The first thing I think,
Yeah.
the first person who comes with an offer,
Yeah.
it's a lowball offer.
Mm.
You know what I mean? They're coming in, even if it seems big,
Yeah.
then the first thing I think is, oh, this is worth something.
Yeah, that's true.
Why is it? I would do a little market research. My
Yeah.
first thing would be like, do some market research.
Yeah.
See why they want to pay you so much for it.
And get a
What if-
higher offer.
Get a higher offer, or what if the answer is get some investors?
Mm.
Make this place top of the line.
Good.
You know,
yeah.
the paint is peeling.
Yeah,
They have
yeah.
like kind of old shelving, and they have like a bad system of restocking. What if we made this thing top of the line?
Yeah.
So the community was like, I love going to Kim's
What
Convenience.
if you made a Walmart?
What if you made it Kim's Mart?
Kim's Walmart. And it becomes a big chain like Walmart.
yeah. There it
That's the
is.
same thing.
Yeah, he's just gentrify everything else. The only way to beat him is to join him.
Be one of them.
So when Ince was writing this, I listened to the interview that he did. He was asked what perspective he wrote from, the father or the son.
Yeah.
What do you think?
Well, I guess he wrote it while he was a son's age, right? But
Mm-hmm.
then he switched up a few things when he became a father. So, I mean, both, right? Because he wrote it first as a son, but now he understands the father's perspective too. So both?
It's a trick question.
Yeah.
He wrote it from the daughter's perspective.
Okay.
For the most part, because he was an artist. He or she is also being an artist as a photographer in a family that's like
Really?
making like all these, you know, that has a convenience store. And he felt like the outsider for being an artist within that family. So he was writing mostly from the daughter's
Wow.
perspective when telling this story.
You know what's crazy? It is actually so I can relate so much of it because I'm also like in art, right?
Yeah.
My entire family are doctors. So it's a bit different from convenience store, but like we had the expectation. Like it's not just my dad and my mom, my grandpa, my aunt, my uncle, they're all doctors in Korea.
Wow.
So I'm sure they thought I would be a doctor too, you know?
It's a family business.
Yeah, but so this is actually what happened with me that is crazy. It's similar. Is I was born in Korea and I was going to school there, like as if I'm gonna grow up there. And the thing is, Korean education system is like really, really hard. It's really challenging and competitive. It's very academic. And instead of being, you know, like someone who would be a doctor, a smart person, I was very artsy. Like I loved creating stories. I liked drawing. I was very different than what they probably expected. And my parents, I'm so proud of them for this. They saw that I wasn't fit for that kind of academic lifestyle. They saw that I was struggling to like, you know, just study all the time and become a doctor or lawyer like everyone else is expecting. That's why they sent me to America.
Whoa.
They decided to like that I would probably do better, be able to be more creative if I was in the US. So they sacrificed themselves. They sent me to America. And what they did actually was to send me and my brother to America. My dad he was a doctor, right? So he still had to work in Korea because you can't be a doctor in America.
Right, doesn't
You have to-
transfer.
you have to go to med school again, which is
No thanks.
not possible. So he still lived in Korea by himself as a doctor and only came to see us few times a year. He had to live alone by himself while my mom also gave up her doctor career to take care of us in America, where she didn't speak English. She had to learn it. She didn't know anyone, had no friends, but they basically sacrificed themselves so much so my brother and I could go to school here. And it worked, you know, like we now both have jobs and we're like doing well. And my dad now is retired and like living in America with my mom, which is great. But just when I think about the sacrifices they went through,
Wow.
just because I was different, like I liked artsy stuff,
Yeah.
it's so crazy to me.
That is wild
Yeah.
and so beautiful. What an incredibly gorgeous sacrifice that
Yeah.
your parents made for you and your brother. Oh
I'm
my!
so thankful.
I'm so touched by that story.
Yeah.
Wow. I have no follow up to it except for, I mean, look, my for very different reasons, because my family came from Cuba,
Yeah.
was, my it wasn't my dad's choice. He was 9 years old when it happened.
Oh.
It was my grandfather and grandmother when communism was taking over and
Oh.
everything got taken away from them.
Yeah.
And so they left with 4 kids and moved to Miami because they had family there, and with nothing, with just the
Wow.
shirts on their backs,
Yeah.
and built their way up. And my dad very much has that mentality of like, work as hard as he can
Yeah.
to take advantage of the opportunities that have been provided for him
Yeah.
so that his family can have everything they need.
Ugh.
It's really just like awe-inspiring to think about that amount of struggle and sacrifice
Yeah.
that I don't think I'm capable of.
Same. I'm like, I think I'm too selfish to do
I'm
that.
too selfish.
But we don't have kids yet, so we don't know, I guess.
This is true.
Yeah.
I have dogs, but and I'll do anything for them, but I
know.
won't move.
My cats, my cats and my dog, I love them, but would I live by myself?
Right. And
And
provide
send everyone
them
away.
Yeah.
I
Oh,
don't know if I could do that.
No, that's so hard.
Yeah.
On a lighter note,
Everyone crying yet?
yeah, how did you like that? It isn't that what you expect when you go to Big Theater Kid Energy, is it? Now that you have seen a play in person, are you
Mhm.
interested in seeing other plays?
Yeah.
Does it make you think like, oh, you know what? Maybe I will go see a musical?
I've always wanted to see a musical.
Wow.
Well, I just like, first of all, I love that everyone kind of dresses up too. That it's
Yeah,
not
when
just,
you emailed me and you texted me and
Yeah.
you're like, well, you asked me like, I forgot what you were asking me.
I was like, what do we wear? Do we have to wear something? Because I was gonna wear sweatpants,
You weren't actually gonna wear sweatpants.
Well, like jeans.
Yeah,
or I don't
yeah,
know,
yeah,
something
yeah. Like
comfortable.
night chill. Yeah.
chill.
And it's like, no, not only is it the theater, it's opening night at the theater.
Glad we had that
And
talk.
we'll be on the red carpet. Can I just tell you really quick? I did send you an email
Uh-huh.
that had the wardrobe information in it.
I'm really bad at reading
The
emails.
same one that had the parking information in it, but it's not a big deal.
Which I didn't read either.
But I'll tell you what, everything worked out exactly as it was supposed to.
It did because I trusted you.
You trusted me
Yeah.
and you communicated.
That's true. That I didn't read.
You let me know that you did not read that. You need, hey, can you summarize? Because you sent me an email with a lot of information, Ryan, and I need you to just like tell me some bullet points, okay?
You know, it worked.
Honestly, that is on me.
It
I should
worked.
have given you some specific bullet points.
No, I should have read.
But yeah, I think there's some great musicals you should see. I think there's also just like so many opportunities out here in LA.
Yeah.
We even saw Jessica Kobzanski, who's the artistic director of the Boston Court Pasadena, which is
Yeah.
a very far drive for you, about Octopus Garden that's happening right there with a 9-foot, or it's
yeah,
a
she
massive
said.
puppet that's being operated by 3 different people.
Yeah, yeah,
now,
yeah.
that I don't think that's your second show. I don't think that's your second show. Let me tell you why.
Why?
That's avant-garde.
Oh.
That's like, maybe it is. Maybe that's what you're into. But you're talking about a musical.
Uh-huh.
I think you want something a little bit more like you're making your first steps, first foray.
Yeah.
That's like expert level. I don't think
Oh.
you're ready for the boss yet.
Okay.
Unless you think you can handle it, then go for it.
Well, I'm excited to see how it would be. but-
It's wild because it's less like Kim's Convenience is so realist.
Yeah.
Right? Things are happening exactly as they are in front of you.
Yeah.
A play like Octopus Garden is
Yeah.
going to be very like a think piece. Things are happening and they're metaphors and they're illusions, and you need to like.
Oh, that is
everyone
expert.
walks out and starts to think like, what story do you think was happening?
Oh, I see. Okay.
So I think you need to see a.
Yeah, maybe I'm not ready for that yet.
I don't know. Maybe you can give it a shot. But like, you need a West Side Story.
Yeah.
You need a Six the Musical.
classic.
You need a Moulin Rouge. You need something,
I know.
Even Dragon Mama that's happening right now at the Geffen Playhouse. I
Uh-huh.
think you'd love. It's a solo show. One
Uh-huh.
woman, Sarah Porkalab. Unbelievable. Totally worth the watch.
I can say I was obsessed with Phantom of the Opera when it came out, but I watched the movie, not the theater.
That's
version.
okay. That's okay. You know what I want to see? I want to go to New York and see Masquerade.
Oh, yes.
Do you know what that is?
Yeah, I do, because I sang it in choir.
But do you know what the play is, Masquerade, that's happening right now?
I don't know what it's about, but I know that it's like a show.
So Masquerade is Phantom of the Opera.
Oh, so
This
That
is
song.
Phantom of the Opera.
Yeah.
But it's told in a way where you're walking through the play.
oh, okay. I
You're
didn't know
actually
that.
taken by the Phantom through the story. And so
Ah,
it's a moving play.
okay.
I think that's also a little expert level, but I think you could handle that.
Okay, I'll try it.
YB, this was so fun. Thank you so much for coming to your first play ever.
No, thank you for introducing me to theater.
I really hope that we're all watching your vlog And we see YB's like, well, guys, I'm doing it. I'm going to Octopus Garden, even
Oh
though
my
Ryan
God.
said it's scary and it's very, it's going to be a lot of work to understand it. I'm giving it a shot.
Wait, is there a horror version?
So hold on. Last season, and I hope it comes back, there was the play Paranormal Activity done at the Ahmanson, and I heard it was incredible.
Oh, I would love that. That would be up my alley.
Oh, I missed it.
Ah.
I missed it this time, but it happened in November. So that show is so incredible. I think it is coming back. But you should definitely see that. If you
Yeah.
like horror,
Yeah, I love horror.
that's, I think, what I've heard, one of the best horror plays ever.
I would love that. Because I don't like horror movies all the time because it's like all jump scares.
Yeah.
But I feel like a play would be great.
They can do jump scares.
Yeah, but like there will be people with me getting scared together. Well, so are movies, but
Not the way
Not the way
YB watches them. YB, new theater person, now taking a big foray into the
Yes.
live action theater and movies and all the things that LA has to offer. What do you have to promote? Where can people follow you? What should we be seeing from YB?
well, other than on Try Guys, you can see me on my YouTube channel, youtube.com, YBChangOfficial, or my Instagram, XOYBOX. You can find me there.
You've been a great guest.
You've been a great guest.
You like that?
You've been.
Yeah.
Get it?
I used your name.
Yeah, that's my name. Thank you.
And you've all been great listeners. Did you
Yeah,
know that?
You've been.
I think you've been
Great
really
listeners.
great at what you do. And that's the end of Big Theater Kid Energy for today. But, go rate, go review anywhere. Apple Podcasts, Spotify. Maybe you want to subscribe to the YouTube channel. Just go and give this show some love. And let me know if there's any other shows you want me to see, any other guests you want me to have on, or segments you want me to have on this show. Again, thank you so much to my guest, YB BISTE. And thank you so much to the Ahmanson and to Ins Choi and for the creation of Kim's Convenience running through April 19th. Please go see this show. It's not coming back. This is not a tour that's going to keep going all around. They're trying to get to Broadway. But if you want to see it while you're in LA, now is your chance. This is the only performance in Southern California. I love you, and I thank you, and goodbye.
We got big theater kid energy. Look out, we project, we sing out, Louise. Never market, always go full out. John Patrick Shanley never had a doubt. Our voices are warm, then kicks are high. We've got perfect form. We say thank you, five. Grab your prop, charge all the glow tape. Curtains going up. 5, 6, 7, 8. We got big theater kid